Welcome back. President Abdel Fattah AlSissi met with a U.S. Senate and Congress delegation visiting from the state of South Carolina on Wednesday. Presidential spokesman Bassam Radi said the meeting tackled means of fostering cooperation in different fields, whether between the two countries in general or between Egypt and the state of South Carolina in specific. They reviewed bilateral ties in the fields of agriculture, trade, higher and technical education, in addition to the exchange of expertise between educational universities and institutions. The two sides also probed a number of regional and international issues of mutual concern. President AlSissi welcomed the delegation, stressing the significance of strong and strategic ties between both nations. He expressed keenness for continuous consultations with U.S. decision-makers in various domains, expressing Cairo's appreciation to the U.S. Congress in enhancing partnership between the two countries in different fields of joint cooperation. The President reaffirmed Egypt's consistent policy of preserving national institutions and respecting other people's rights to live in peace and security. On the domestic front, AlSissi stated that the state gives utmost care and prioritizes education with a strategic framework to build the capacity of Egyptian citizens while consolidating systematic efforts to combat terrorism and extremism. Radi also revealed that members of the delegation expressed appreciation to Egypt's pivotal role spreading the culture of peace in the Middle East. They also praised Cairo's efforts in combating terrorism and extremist thought, as well as instilling the real values of religious forgiveness in parallel with the state's efforts towards social and economic development. According to Radi, the members of the delegation also commended Egypt's active and balanced role on the regional front, namely to reach settlements for many crises in the Middle East. The President also met on Wednesday with visiting Russian Industry and Trade Minister Denis Mantorov. His spokesman noted that the President expressed his appreciation of the developments witnessed in bilateral ties, reflecting the strong political will in order to achieve progress in various fields. For his part, the Russian minister highlighted Egypt's significance as a strategic partner in the region and voiced his country's keenness on enhancing bilateral ties, notably in the economic and trade fields and within the framework of Egypt's ambitious economic program. The meeting probed means of increasing Russian investments in Egypt as well as establishing joint projects in various sectors. On another front, the Russian minister said his country looks forward to kickstart the Egyptian-Russian Human Interaction Year, expected to be launched in the beginning of 2020. President AlSissi, for his part, noted that 2020 will witness the inauguration of a number of cultural achievements and landmarks, such as the Grand Egyptian Museum, the Culture City in the new administrative capital, and that in the new El Alamein in the North Coast. Also on Wednesday, the head of state received a high-level business delegation from South Korea. President AlSissi praised the Korean government's role in developing relations, especially in the field of investment. He also commended the Egyptian-Korean Investment Forum due to be held in Cairo in a bid to expand activities of Korean companies in the Egyptian market. The President expressed keenness on holding direct contacts with Korean investors so as to shed light on the latest economic progress made in a bid to attract investments. AlSissi also voiced his hopes of shifting bilateral trade and economic ties to new horizons, taking into consideration the promising investment opportunities available in the Egyptian market in different fields. He called for the expansion of Korean investments being one of the most important sources of direct foreign investments and advanced technological expertise in the fields of vehicle manufacturing, iron and steel, electronics, health, petrochemicals, and the usage of solid waste. He highlighted a number of competitive advantages, notably the potential of the market, as well as the skilled labor force, in addition to signed free trade agreements with markets in Africa, the Arab countries, and the European Union. President AlSissi also added the incentives offered to investors and the private sector, as well as the modernization of legislative frameworks and that of the infrastructure. The Korean delegation praised the developmental plans as well as the political will that enables Egypt to acquire a leading position in the region and gives a positive impact to the foreign business community. Reading out a statement before the House of Representatives, Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouly asserted on Wednesday that Egypt would take all necessary measures to preserve its share of the Nile River water in light of the recent stalemate in negotiations with Ethiopia over its Renaissance Dam. The Prime Minister reiterated that the state is committed to protecting its water rights while it does not oppose Ethiopia's or any of the Nile Basin countries' development projects. He noted that a 2015 Charter of Principles inked by Egypt, Sudan and Ethiopia stipulated that the three parties close ranks on the dam without prejudice to their water security and in line with Cairo's strategy for maintaining the nation's water resources. For his part, Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry told Parliament members that the United Nations Charter provides for the active involvement of an international mediator among Egypt, Sudan and Ethiopia in case they fail to reach an agreement on the issue. The top diplomat pointed that the latest round of talks hosted by Sudan showed Ethiopia adopting a hardline stance and its unwillingness to fulfill Egypt's request concerning the dam and the possible harm it may cause to the country's Nile River water share. Shoukry emphasized that by all means no status quo harming national interests could be imposed on Egypt. Egypt has condemned in the strongest terms the Turkish assault on Syrian territories on Wednesday. In a statement, the Foreign Ministry described the Turkish aggression as an unacceptable, blatant assault on the sovereignty of a brotherly Arab country and is considered a violation of international law. The statement stressed that the world community represented by the UN Security Council should shoulder its responsibility to face this serious development which threatens international peace and security. Egypt also called on the stoppage of any attempt to occupy Syrian territories and warned of repercussions of Turkish aggression on Syrian unity, its regional security and the political process, according to Security Council Resolution 2254. Cairo called on the Arab League to hold an emergency meeting to discuss these developments and work on preserving Syria's sovereignty and the unity of its people, as well as its regional safety and the political process in the country, according to the same resolution.